welcome back to the Wrestling Rundown. We are beginning episode 97. That's right.
What?
97.
That's almost 1,000.
No, it's almost 100. Which is where Thomas Wolfe will fuck himself. But Thomas Wolfe is not with us this week. So, just as a reminder, we will not be having the Thomas's Top 5 this week. That'll be at a later time. Also, if you hear any extra noises, we apologize, but it is hot as fuck here, so we have a window open. So
Yeah.
there's extra sound, it's not us.
Fucked up bitch.
But, regardless of extra sounds, we are going to talk about Raw.
We are.
We're going
Raw
to
was
review
a
this
thing
Raw.
that happened, and I want to say... What matches happened?
We had Chris Jericho defeat Sami Zayn.
Boo.
We had Enzo and Cass defeat the Dudleys.
Alright.
We had Baron Corbin defeat Fandango.
Ooh.
Go figure. We had Cesaro and the New Day defeat the League of Nations.
Fandango figure.
We had Cesaro and the New Day defeat the League of Nations and The Miz.
Yay!
We had Natty, Paige, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks defeat Naomi, Tamina, Summer Rae, and Charlotte. We had the Vaudevillains defeat the Usos. We had Apollo Crews defeat Heath Slater. And we had Dean Ambrose, once again, defeat Kevin Owens.
Woo.
This was a very rehashed Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff we've seen. This is Raw from London, so I can understand why they're kind of like putting their best of together, just because London only gets Raw like once, maybe twice a year. So, I mean, it makes sense, but it wasn't...
Wasn't special.
It really wasn't.
The only thing that really made this Raw stand out, in my opinion, is that both teams that just got called up from NXT advanced to the finals of the Booty Bowl.
Yes. So first we had Enzo and Cass beat the Dudleys. Enzo getting, like, this was...
Getting his ass royally
Bubba
kicked.
Ray was straight up, like, mouthing off, like, hey, fuck you, rookie, get out of my ring, through this entire match.
Yeah,
At one point,
Bubba and Devon did not be kind to Enzo during this match.
And Enzo took a whooping. Even at one point, Bubba tags in Devon and says, please destroy him. But then, of course, you get that hot tag to Big Cass, and Big Cass goes on a freaking tirade, just destroying the Dudleys, hitting all the big moves. And there was actually a miscue where Bubba was going for an avalanche on Big Cass. Cass was able to move. Bubba ran into Devon, knocking Devon out of the ring. Then Cass hits a big boot on Bubba, tags in Enzo. They hit Air Enzo for the win, and they move to the finals of the Booty Bowl. And then the Vaudevillains made really quick work of the Usos. And this was more so Jay's fault because his shoulder, which was his major injury that kept him out for so long, is messed up after the attack by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson last week. And so he gets a little froggy and decides to, like, torpedo dive out of the ring onto Simon Gotch. That messes up his shoulder a little bit more. Aiden English takes advantage by running him into the post really fucking hard.
Yeah, on the outside. Like, he didn't go, like, through the ropes to the post.
Yeah, it was, like, on the
apron.
So it looked like the angle looked extra vicious. They had to really play that up. But then the dive that Jay did on the outside also took Jimmy out, so there was no help for Jay. So Aiden takes control, tags in Gotch. They hit the Whirling Dervish, and the Vaudevillains head to the finals as well. So,
it was one of the more intense Whirling Dervishes.
Yes. No,
which is to say, because I'm not a big fan of that finisher, but I thought it looked good there.
Gotch was in a whole... Like, he was in psycho mode for this match.
I kind of, like, want to live my entire life like he lived his entrance.
He was
which is
yelling
just balls to the wall.
Yeah. No, Simon Gotch was in a whole different world for this Monday Night Raw. But,
he was.
So, yeah, so that
He's
will
in
be...
a whole new world.
They will be, the finals...
One Disney reference fuck you up that bad?
I'm tired, man. You throw me off just a little bit, we're going to go off the fucking rails real quick. So that match, the finals of the Booty Bowl, will be at Payback.
Yeah. Which I was kind of hoping it would be at Raw next week to have a championship match at Payback.
Yeah. See, the next pay-per-view is Extreme Rules. So, I don't. Yeah, they're probably not gonna wait that. It'll probably be like a week or so after.
The Vaudevillains are gonna win, and they're gonna challenge the New Day to Extreme Rules. It's gonna be a match in black and white. That's the stipulation.
That I could definitely see that being the thing, like the Vaudevillains with how they're all very old school, black and white, no color against like the most colorful tag team on the roster with their fucking rainbow unicorn outfits. Speaking of which, they were on a whole different brightly colored level this week. Just rainbows aplenty on these outfits. But this was a fun segment because we started with Miz TV, which was not fun until Cesaro.
Except I will say Maurice.
Holy God, yeah.
You still got it, girl.
Them laces ain't holding nothing back. Yeah. So
damn.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun to look at her.
Damn.
Then Cesaro comes out and he makes it really funny. Also, using the Roddy Piper line, which happy birthday, Hot Rod, saying they were doing the whole obviously throwing the movie puns out there as far as this.
Well, Miz butchered the fucking.
Oh, I don't even want to talk. That was
the
awful.
line from Taken.
That was awful.
That right there should tell WWE movies to not cast the Miz anymore.
But yeah, so Cesaro saves it.
The Marine 5 with Cesaro. The Marine 5, Swiss Army knife.
Yes, make that movie now. Yeah, he does the I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and then he spits his gum out and says, "I'm all out of bubblegum." And then
This is like, oh, but you have a match with Rusev.
Yeah, and Rusev comes out with Sheamus and Del Rio.
Then Cesaro's like, hey, well, guess what? This isn't a match with me and Rusev. This is a match with Rusev and Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio and The Miz against me and the New Day, New Day, New Day.
And he rips off his James Bond outfit. And he's got a Booty-O's t-shirt on underneath.
His Chippendales routine.
Yes. Yeah, it was a fun match. I mean, it was.
Cesaro took part in the Unicorn Stampede.
Yes. And then they did a little different because Cesaro ends up doing like a catapult drop kick and back rolls, and as he's back rolling, that's when Big E did the Irish Whip to Kofi, and Kofi jumped over Cesaro, hitting the drop kick in the corner, which was fun. Yeah, so New Day and Cesaro picking up a win in just a melee of things going on at the end.
It's like just finish fest.
Yeah, everyone hitting their finisher on everyone, and
except for the Miz.
Yeah.
Who couldn't get skull crushing finale on Big E, and Big E just grabs his wrist and pulls him up over his head and does the big ending.
Yeah, fantastic moment for Big E. So Sheamus ends up hitting a big power slam on
Big E.
On Big E, and then tries to do it to Cesaro, but Cesaro is able to roll around his shoulders and get him set up perfectly for the neutralizer. Cesaro picks up the win for the babyface team.
Best moment of Raw for me because two guys who I dislike were on the same team, and that team lost.
Yes. Wow. This is a big win for you. And it's 4 guys that you really like on the other team. So,
sorry, Rusev and Del Rio, but
yeah,
I danced around when your team lost.
Rusev's the only one I feel bad about. I don't really like Del Rio.
And Maurice was at ringside still, so damn.
Corbin versus Fandango was just more build for Corbin and Ziggler. Ziggler ended up getting involved because Fandango got thrown over into his face, and then after he beat Fandango, Ziggler attacked Baron Corbin, and then Baron Corbin beat the shit out of Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised they didn't have Ziggler on the actual card for Raw tonight.
They recorded SmackDown also, so he's probably wrestling on SmackDown. That's probably what it is. Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater was, if Apollo Crews lost, he'd have to join the Social Outcasts. But if Apollo won,
they had
to leave him alone forever. And this was a fun match. Like, there was a few times we thought Heath Slater had it.
I specifically, it was the end of the match when Apollo Crews moonsaults off the apron onto Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the top rope and does a crossbody on Heath Slater, but Heath Slater rolls over on top of Apollo Crews and starts to pin him.
Yeah.
And he got a very, very near 2 count.
Yes. But he ends up getting the Enziguri and the Cruise Control Powerbomb, and Apollo Crews is not a member of the Social Outcasts. All right. Let's talk about the ladies. We first had Mara was doing some backstage interviews tonight, which was nice, seeing that he gets to be a part of Monday Night Raw as well. But he's interviewing Charlotte and Ric Flair. Bring up the fact that every time Charlotte retains her title, it's because of Ric Flair, and she tries to tell him that
you're worse than Dr. Phil.
So she tells him off, and then Natty shows up, and she's like, well, it just so happens that Shane McMahon has granted me a rematch. It'll be at Payback.
Must be scared.
Yeah, it's just going to be the same thing. No, it's not, because Natty's going to have Bret Hart in her corner. Which I don't think is really going to help much, but...
No, I'm hoping that...
Do you think they're going to give it to Natty?
I don't.
No?
But I'm thinking the payoff of this is going to be the end of the match. You'll get Natalya and Bret double sharpshootering Charlotte and Rick.
That's going to break Rick, I feel like.
He's a better chance of breaking Bret.
He's going to have to keep slapping his arms to get that blood.
Well, he's on the ground.
That's how he taps out. He's just going to keep doing this.
Yeah. No, I mean, let's be real here. I mean, it's cool because Bret Hart has that legendary Hall of Fame WWE awesome career status.
Right.
And so it's awesome. It's like, oh, Bret Hart's going to be on the pay-per-view. But I'd be more scared of Jim Neidhart.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised they haven't...
He's a much larger and slightly more mobile than Bret Hart.
I mean, yeah, he's not exactly in the greatest shape. He never really was. But, yeah, he's not post-surgery like like Bret is. And, Bret's had so many different health issues for the last, 20 years?
Close to, starting
20-ish years?
2000.
Yeah, so, it's been a rough ride for the Hitman. Jim Neidhart's, fell on some hard times, but he's not...
It's just because Jim Neidhart is not in favor with the company.
Well, yeah. He's been on Total Divas. People kind of know who he is. But yeah, so we go to the eight women tag team match, which was fun. Everyone got a little bit. Everyone got a little bit to do, and lots of brightly colored hair. But Natty ends up picking up the win over Charlotte. Everyone kind of fights to the outside and takes everybody out, and it's just Charlotte and Natty. Charlotte goes for the figure 4. She ends up getting shoved off, and then Natty's able to take her down and get a really fast sharpshooter on, and Charlotte wastes no time tapping out to that. She wasn't hanging around.
It's fine because there's no title on the line, nothing. It's you tap out fast, you preserve yourself.
Exactly. Makes a ton of sense. So now, I think we can talk about the over arc that started the show and ended the show, which was more Shane McMahon.
Well, I guess we got... there's another little running story throughout the entire show that just had to do with Roman Reigns and AJ Styles.
Okay, I was gonna kind of connect it because it's all Payback matches, but okay, yeah. Okay, so
Roman came out, did some talking. AJ came out.
AJ won the promo.
AJ won the promo. And I mean, he didn't even have to talk to win the promo. I mean, he talked and he won the promo that way. But he would have won the promo anyways because the fans just shit on Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, there was no saving Roman Reigns.
That catchphrase is getting old.
Yeah, don't. For the I have no problem with Roman Reigns, but don't start his promos with the same fucking thing every time.
You're not Paul Heyman. So AJ wins the promo, he starts backing out of the ring, and Roman gets attacked by Gallows and Anderson.
Which there was Morrow was interviewing AJ earlier, which got interrupted by Luke and Carl, and they had kind of a buddy moment, like, hey, let's go hang out. And then when this happens,
AJ's on the ramp, and he goes, Carl, and Luke. And then you see like a moment backstage, and like Roman's like, hey, I don't believe that you weren't in on this, and AJ's like, hey, I had no idea what they were gonna do, and Roman's like, yeah, fuck off, country boy, I don't believe it for a minute, and AJ's like, well, you should believe it for at least 30 seconds or something, and then they're like, whatever, and then they show, like at one point, AJ's backstage with Carl and Luke, and he's kind of like, guys, don't.
Which you called all of this before it happened.
And my prediction.
So your end game is.
My end game is because of this, the Gallows and Anderson are going to turn on AJ for going soft.
Sounds legit for me.
It's NWO circa 2002,
and that'll be the debut of Finn Balor on the main roster.
Could happen,
maybe. But yeah, so we open up the show with the Ambrose Asylum, the second edition of the Ambrose Asylum.
Oh yeah.
And Dean Ambrose starting off with a monologue, telling some jokes.
Braun Strowman is the monster that was in the Thames River.
Yes. But his guest is none other than Shane McMahon.
Here came the money.
Yes. Shane McMahon, talking about the stuff he's gonna change, stuff that he's gonna make better, and Kevin Owens doesn't like that, and he makes his way down. And he compares himself to Stone Cold, which I thought was great, because he's like, this is just like you, another McMahon, drunk with power, going against the top star in the company.
And then he really starts berating Sami Zayn, and then so Sami Zayn came out.
Yeah, Sami Zayn's like, I don't want to deal with this.
You're an asshole.
And
let's fight and stuff.
Sami, kind of goes over the whole, that's why. Oh yeah, because he was talking about Sami Zayn's been riding his coattails, and Sami's like, well, I got here first, and
it's like, I got signed by WWE first, and then Kevin Owens is like, well, I got on Raw first, and I'm like, Kevin Owens, that's bullshit. Remember when they had Neville and Zayn versus Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze on Raw one time to hype up the first takeover?
Yeah, you weren't even there.
Suck it, dick. Suck a dick.
But then apparently, it's just because it's the Ambrose Asylum. Jericho decided
Jericho came out and he's like, hey, everybody, look at how cool my scarf is.
He wasn't wearing a scarf at that time. He was wearing his jacket, his studded jacket. No lights on this one. Shh. The scarf was later.
No, it was foreshadowing. That's what he was doing.
Oh.
It was, come look at how cool my scarf is. Epic foreshadowing.
And everyone's like, what scarf?
And he's like, you'll see, you fuckers.
So
let's fight now.
So yeah, things start getting heated. Dean tells everyone to be careful of his potted plant.
Yeah.
Shane decides he makes 2 matches for Payback. He makes Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. But for now, he gets out of the ring. He's like, I'm just going to let whatever happens, happens.
And they start fighting.
And Dean hands him the plant to make sure the plant's fine. Yeah, then there's fighting. And so that sets up our first match, which is Chris Jericho versus Sami Zayn. This was a fun match. Jericho getting the win. Sami was. How did he set him up for the haluba kick?
He did the tornado DDT through the torpedo DDT.
Yeah, the torpedo. And then, tossed
rolled
him back
in the ring
corner.
and then started picking him up in the corner.
Yeah, and so he went for the haluba kick, and Jericho was able to move out of the way, and then hit Code Breaker. Jericho picked up the win. And then, let me just go. Then we just go
Main
back
event.
to the end. Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens. This is Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens. It's fun, but it's starting to get real Orton Cena-y. Just
Kind of like how we were calling spots in the middle of the match.
Yeah, like we knew what was...
Like, Papa Powerbomb, oh, reverse to the Rana, and it's super kick.
Yeah.
And you were just like watching your
I face palmed because he called it like...
as it was happening.
As it was happening, just spot for spot. Don't get me wrong, I like seeing these guys wrestle, but I don't want to see them wrestle once a week, every year. Let's chill out on the Ambrose and the Owens.
Let's, like, keep it at most once a month.
I'm cool with that. And not always the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You know, change it up. Do it on a SmackDown.
That's why I was on Raw.
We did that. We did it on SmackDown. And now we did it again on Raw. Anyway, Dean Ambrose ends up picking up the win.
They try to make it interesting sometimes by turning it into tag team matches.
No. Maybe they should have done that here.
Jericho and Zayn, maybe?
Yeah. Owens ends up going for a frog splash. And Dean Ambrose puts the knees up, which looks like it fucking hurt.
Yeah, because Owens just squished his knees.
Yeah. But, you know, Owens, you know, he's pained from getting the knees, but he sees that Ambrose has made his way to the corner, and this is Ambrose kind of goading Kevin Owens into trying to hit the cannonball. Cannonball misses.
Yeah.
And Dean Ambrose, looks like he's going for a schoolboy on Owens, and ends up just kind of back rolling him, so he's back up on his feet, hits the Dirty Deeds. Dean Ambrose picks up the win, and then out of nowhere gets hit with a code breaker with that epic scarf, which was wrapped around the neck of Chris Jericho.
Too long scarf, too tight vest, too small pants. Too small vest, too tight pants. Y2J.
Save your wardrobe, Y2J. Yeah, that was Raw.
Should have a scarf off between Jericho and Miz.
Ugh. Ugh. Gross. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
Comment your favorite part of Raw if you had one. Cesaro and the New Day. That was the favorite part. Also, be sure to click on the links down in the description. That'll take you to all of our social medias, where you'll get pictures, videos, posts, other stuff you can comment, because we like to talk about wrestling. So
we do.
Let's talk about some wrestling.
Talk about it in the comments. Talk about it on our Facebook, on the Instagram. Email it to us, because there's 2 of those down there.
And if you don't want to see our faces, you can listen to us talk about wrestling on our podcast.
Yeah, you can have us be delivered directly into your ear holes.
Also, check out the playlist, because there's going to be videos this week. No extra videos because Thomas Wolfe was not able to join us this week. So it'll be our usual reviews. We got midweek wrap-up coming up next. Then we got the SmackDown rundown. Then we got some indie news.
Holy shite.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of a lot going on.
Oh shit,
we got more planning going on. Because right around the time we launch week 100, episode 100 of the Wrestling Rundown, we're going to be launching Wrestling Rundown's page 2.
Yes.
On the YouTube.
Has not been named yet, but we are in the process of doing so.
We have a lot of good ideas.
Yes.
Post in the comments if you have a cool name for Wrestling Rundown's second page. That will be non-reviews.
Yes.
It will be fun videos. It will be interesting videos. It will be analytical videos. There's going to be guest appearances. There's going to be the return of Fantasy Warfare. And
brand new format.
Much more. Hopefully. And also, he's going to die.
Yeah. No. If there's other types of videos that you want to see, be sure to post those down in the comments on any video so we can get some of your suggestions.
Yeah,
and we just might take those into consideration.
And if you get we pick your suggestion, you'll definitely get some sort of a shout out.
Absolutely. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Yeah.
Fuck the Miz, but Maurice, man.
Fuck Maurice.
Yeah.
But in all actuality. Fuck Miz and Sheamus, because they were on the same team.
And Titus O'Neil.
They fucking lost.
Titus O'Neil's coming back.
Yeah, fuck Universal Studios.
Wow. That escalated quickly.